Hey guys, so welcome to episode 5 of the Iron Dungeon, India's first English bodybuilding channel. Okay, so today we'll be talking about the top 5 best and worst supplements of the fitness industry. But before I start, I would like each one of you to go and subscribe to my channel and also turn on the post notifications for further updates. Okay, so let's get into the video, starting with the top 5 best supplements. This muscle building power enhancing supplement has an extremely high safety profile and a ton of evidence to support its efficiency. Creatine supplementation works by increasing the availability of creatine and phosphocreatine within the muscle, helping to maintain energy during high intensity exercise such as weightlifting. Furthermore, increasing the availability of phosphocreatine may help speed up the recovery between sets. Long-term creatine supplementation appears to enhance the quality of resistance training, generally leading to 5 to 15% greater gains in strength and performance. The fastest way to increase muscle creatine stores is to follow a loading method of 20 grams per day for 5 to 7 days, followed by the standard maintenance dose of 5 grams per day. However, a lower dose of 5 grams for 28 days will also increase creatine stores without causing the 2 to 4 pound weight gain typically seen with a loading protocol. Caffeine may be the most widely used stimulant in the world, and for a good reason. It has repeatedly been shown to be an effective aid in both endurance exercise and high intensity activity. However, when it comes to strength performance, the effects of caffeine are a little better. While there's some research suggesting caffeine consumption prior to resistance training can increase 1 rep max for the bench press, other studies have found no strength benefits from caffeine. That being said, caffeine has been shown to decrease rates of fatigue and lower perception of effort, which may be of benefit during high intensity, high volume workouts. 150 to 300 milligrams 30 to 60 minutes before your workout is the recommended dose. Fast digesting protein like whey is optimal post-workout as it can help to improve your muscles' abilities to recover and adapt after strenuous exercise. In fact, consumption of whey protein has found to stimulate muscle protein synthesis to a greater degree than other proteins like casein and soy. A recent review article published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition highlighted the benefits of protein supplementation and showed that supplementing with protein during prolonged resistance type training can lead to significantly greater increases in muscle mass and strength. Blends of protein like whey and casein have been shown to promote muscle hypertrophy and improve body composition to a greater extent than soya-based proteins when consumed after resistance training. The combination of fast digesting whey and slow digesting casein keep the body in a highly anabolic environment for a prolonged period of time, helping to keep rates of protein synthesis up while minimizing any muscle breakdown. Lifters who don't follow high volume or high intensity resistance training programs, as many bodybuilders do, may also benefit from carbohydrate intake immediately post-workout. Compared with a placebo, carbohydrates combined with protein immediately post-workout and 1 hour after resistance exercise have been shown to increase insulin levels and rates of glycogen resynthesis. 20 to 30 grams of whey protein with a high glycemic carbohydrate post-workout is recommended. Fish oils are an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids, which provide numerous benefits for the body. For strength athletes and bodybuilders, we are most concerned with their anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Intense resistance training can cause microscopic tears in your muscle fibers, leading to muscle damage and inflammation. While some inflammation is desirable, too much can delay the post-exercise recovery process. Research suggests that omega-3 fatty acids can help reduce post-workout muscle soreness and speed up the recovery process, getting you ready for your next session with the weights. As an added benefit, when combined with BCAAs and carbs, omega-3s can increase protein synthesis, leading to greater gains in the muscle mass. The recommended dose is 2 grams daily, ideally with a meal. Essential amino acids are critical for the body. It's incapable of synthesizing them internally. Literally speaking, when you don't eat enough, your muscles break down and your stomach shrinks in size. This is because without eating well or using proper supplementation, you're not getting the EAAs that you require to synthesize and replace the older protein in the muscle with newer protein sources. What's less known is that EAAs has to be in plentiful supply for the body to produce muscle from amino acids. Without any one of the essential amino acids or one that's in low supply, protein synthesis stops dead. For bodybuilders or anyone interested in getting stronger or firmer, that's a bad news. Perhaps the most important building block for muscle synthesis is leucine. It's a BCAA but also an EAA. Taking in a meal after a workout that includes a good dose of carbohydrates and lean protein is useful at that time. Okay, so that was the top 5 best supplements. Now let's look at the top 5 worst supplements. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is, and that's certainly the case with fat burners. Promising to melt fat off your body, fat burners are one of the most popular but worst supplements on the market. Looking at the ingredients, however, you'll see that most fat burners work by using high levels of caffeine. Essentially, fat burners are likely to make you move more and eat less, increasing your chances of creating a caloric deficit. To be fair, that sounds great in theory, but there's a thing. You can get the same effects by drinking a coffee or two to boost energy levels, eating a high protein diet, and maintaining a calorie control diet to help create a calorie deficit. This way not only works out a lot cheaper but comes with a whole load of health benefits. You may be wondering why weight gainer shakes are here, as they are essentially the same as normal protein shakes. Well, that is exactly why. There is no real difference between them other than how they are marketed. If you look at the ingredients of a mass gainer shake and the ingredients of a protein shake, they are more or less the same. Maybe there is a slight difference in their carbohydrate content, but that's about it. The big difference you'll notice is the serving suggestion. However, the extreme mass gainer suggested taking 3 heap scoops compared to 1 level scoop of a standard protein. Those weight gainer shakes are filled with carbohydrates and each serving is approximately 1000 calories. Whereas high quality isolate protein shakes have only 120 to 130 calories and are filled with high protein and almost negligible carbs. The same applies to diet shakes. The reason they claim to guarantee weight loss results is because they simply give you a smaller scoop in the tub and probably recommend you living off nothing else but their shakes. If you want to use shakes to help boost your protein intake, then opt for a standard whey protein or dairy-free option. Using servings that are in line with your goals and let you hit your daily protein and calorie targets. Branch chain amino acids are fast becoming a must-have supplement in gym bags around the world. However, there's little to no evidence yet that actually shows the supplement has any benefits. BCAAs are made up of 3 proteins, leucine, isoleucine and valine, all of which can be found in high protein foods. The chances are if you're supplementing with BCAA to help build muscle, it's likely you'll already be eating a high protein diet, making the BCAA supplement pretty pointless. Not only can you obtain BCAAs easily through food, but study after study has shown using the supplement has no benefits. This is one of those supplements where no one really knows if it's actually having any benefit on their strength or muscle growth. One study showed that over a period of 6 weeks, a group of men supplementing with glutamine had no greater increase in strength or size compared to the group who were given a placebo. Other than that, it's just about getting the basics in place: a calorie surplus, a high protein diet, and a structured training program. BCAAs, glutamine, arginine, citrulline maltate, and beta-alanine are all the common ingredients in a pre-workout. Yet there is little evidence to show any of these will have a positive impact on your training. Well, arginine has a poor bioavailability, meaning little of it has actually been absorbed by your muscles, while citrulline maltate and beta-alanine are often included in doses too small to be effective. The best solution is just to take coffee before hitting the gym. You'll miss out on the pre-workout sensation, but your gym performance won't suffer at all.